Hi, it's Wasabi, welcome back to the channel. Got a battle on the Miravanka match, and it's Hyphen32 from Fiddy Clan again. This time he's in the KV222. Now, sometimes if the higher tiers are not making you happy, you just drop back to a lower tier. So we're back in tier 5. Now this is on the ANZ server, so there are bots in the team, but of course there are standard players. So how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 normal players per team. So the priority is to get rid of the normal players, but you've got to be aware that the AI players, or the bots, do have the ability to shoot you with their premium rounds if they're not penetrating, and it's quite possible for, and I was seeing this, for an AI player to come out with the actual top damage in the game. So just be wary of that. So it's not just a complete turkey shoot, as they might call it, but just got to be careful. Now, of course, you recognise the AI players by having the colon in front of their name. He's found that T34 is one of the live players, so Hyphen's managed to put at least one shot into him now. He's firing premium ammo. It's not strictly necessary, but the pen on the KV220-2 is really not special. The main advantage of it is partly the armour. It's actually pretty strong. Well, it's probably one of the strongest armoured tanks, but it's not completely infallible. The other thing is, yeah, it's a complete swap in terms of crews for your KV1, so it's a good tank for training your KV1 crews in, and it does seem to earn more EXP per battle than just about any other tank that I've had. You know, regardless of the performance, it always seems to get a bonus in terms of the EXP. So it's a great tank to play at tier 5. I used it to complete most of my heavy tank missions for the T28 HTC, the second of the campaign missions. And I've got a lot of those videos on the channel in a playlist for the campaign missions, so you can have a look at those if you want to. Anyway, so he's only taken a small amount of damage here. The enemy pushing quite hard. Quite a few of the normal players are on this flank here, so he's trying to do his best to push them back, and just swapping vision to try and line these people up. Now, it doesn't have the greatest gun depression, but you've got to take your targets while you can find it, and so even if they are AI players, getting guns out of the game is still a priority. Alright, the 30OH who went around behind him gets taken out, and he's just taken quite a bit of damage here, but he's going to put it back to them. And there's a Cavalier down there who's firing HE, and I think you'll learn that HE got nerfed, so it's not a great choice for the Cavalier anymore, not unless you're talking about very thinly armoured vehicles, but certainly for the KV220-2 it's not really a viable option. Just misses the shot on the Chaffee there. Again, this is a bot player, so he's going to come back, and you've just got to be a bit patient with your aiming sometimes, particularly with KV220-2. The gun moves relatively slowly, but get those tanks in front of you and you can penetrate them, no dramas, and you'll be able to put off most of the damage that they might inflict. But as we said, this Cavalier is firing HE. He's getting some decent damage out of it here and there, but it's really probably not what you'd expect. So he's going to focus the Cavalier, given it's a standard player, and now he's just been tracked, but now we can go after the Leopard, who is a bot and is really not, his programming doesn't seem to be doing much more than say, I'm a light tank, I will light these tanks up. He's just moving away, but he has been spotted by Churchill 1, who's out there. No, sorry, he's spotted. No, the Churchill 1's another AI player. So things are about even at the moment. A little bit down in hit points. The enemy team's got a KV1 on the 2 line, and typically that KV1s will nearly always, well, I've never seen a KV1 being played by an AI player, but this Churchill 1 is. And I suppose one of the advantages of having a Churchill 1 in the game played by AI is it gives you lots of hit points to farm, so very good for your credit earning potential. So if you are struggling to find matches at higher tier, come down and play at tier 5, particularly during the day, and you'll get plenty of juicy targets like this to do that. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is platooned with Kurgil from Fiddy Clan. Kurgil's in the M485. I don't see much of that tank, but really this game's about Hyphen, and he's now up to 2.6k of damage. So just gives Kurgil a bit of a love tap there, and you can just see as we drove past that M485's body of an M4 with a turret of the T-3485. And he gets taken out by T-67, but as you can see that's also an AI player, and he's taken hits from an M7 himself. So he's been reduced now to 290 points, and I'm frantically swinging his view around, so we might just take control over the tank itself. He's getting out of the Magic Forest here. There's only bots in there right now, so they might go down, but if we have a look at the lineup, there's only one human player left in the game, which is a T-67, and I've got to say at tier 5 you can typically guarantee that T-67 players are Master Seal Clubbers, so we'll have to see whether that survives. Anyway, I'm just coming back to the back of the map for the moment just to see where the threat is. In fact, you see T-67 on the 2 line there, that'll be the human player. And we can see he's got 2 kills, so potential is quite high, but the AT2 seems to have done pretty well. Looks like he's taken out the KV1 and has just taken out the T-67, and that's Rocky Raccoon playing the AT2. Rocky Raccoon, that's a song from the Beatles' White Album, you should listen to it sometime. Alright, so Hive decides, right, there's really no threat left on the 1-2 line. Let's go back to the Magic Forest, that's where the last remaining targets are, or at least where they were last seen. And he's just looking to see whether he's got a shot on the M1, so let's just go back to Hyphen's moon. Critical hit, as I'm just saying about the penetration earlier on the KV220-2 rounds, is they are a bit weak, so you do find yourself using premium rounds a bit more often than perhaps you'd want to, but that doesn't really stop you earning credits, so we'll see at the end of the game how that pans out. He's not getting an outline there for the M7, there are plenty of hills around there, so you really just got to push in and hopefully you can get them isolated. I'm just doing his normal job of checking out the neighbourhood while he's going around, looking for threats. But we'll just stay there. He's got the M7, gets a nice shot in, auto locks him, and gets the kill. So that is one of the advantages of the IA players, is they don't necessarily move around in a way that will take them out of your gun sights straight away anyway. Alright, so just a Wolverine and a T-67 left. And Hyphen just cruising up here. He's got a bot with him, so he can let the bot basically be the spotter if he needs it. And flush out the where the enemy are. They've got 3 tanks up and they've got a decent hit point advantage now. So where is the enemy? That's the question. Wolverine spotted not that far away. Oh, here we go, there's a Wolverine sitting in the middle there. Gets the auto lock on, goes for the shot, does get lit, and in fact he takes a hit there. So that's not good news, needs to angle, gets the kill on the Wolverine. So that's 6 kills now to Hyphen, so he's got his top gun, and there's the T-67 out in the middle as well. And again, that's an AO player, so this should just be bit of a sacrifice. Should get the kill now, which he does, so the 7th kill, and that's the end of the game, and he's got over 3,000 hit points of damage in a tier 5 game. Alright, so what do we get out of this lower tier adventure? Well, Hyphen got 3.3k of his own damage and another 640 of assisted damage there, so just about 4k of combined. 7 kills, so you got the Top Gun award and the High Caliber award, and also the Cool Headed award for bouncing at least 10 shots in a row. And of course the Ace Tanker Mastery badge. Yeah, we'll ignore the EXP that's there. That'll be from missions. So let's have a look at the team performance. Well, here we go. 1906 base experience. Now, I might have mentioned the KV220-2 does earn extra base experience, some sort of bonus. You never see how, but that also means that the ace level is pretty high. It's at least in the 1700s, so that's a good result there for Hyphen. A type T34 player getting 1.5k, and Kurjul just coming in third there. Not quite lasting long enough in the battle to make a difference, but nonetheless, that's what happened there. And on the enemy team, the human T67 player, as I mentioned, did 1500 damage, so that was the top result there. Anyway, 44 shots fired. It is a very fast-firing gun, but it does carry plenty of ammo. 35 those shots hit, 31 penetrated. That gave him his damage total. He didn't block a lot by armor, certainly less than his own hit points worth, but that's okay. Had some personal reserves running and battle payments, which gave him his total income. And although he spent a fair bit on premium ammunition, as you can see, he still made a decent profit of 68,500 credits, which at tier 5 is pretty awesome. So nice game there from Hyphen. Another low tier game for you, so I hope you like that. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider doing that. We'll have more great content to follow, and thanks for watching.